T-Rex Man here, and today I'm gonna be ranking Godzilla designs. Before I begin, I need to clarify that this video is 100% subjective. It's completely based on my personal opinion, and you absolutely don't have to agree with me. And if you want to, you can share your opinion in the comment section, and I would love to read it. Without further ado, let's begin. So first we have 1954 Godzilla. This thing is really good. I'm gonna put it in B tier because I think it's not as good as some of the other designs, but I still think it's really nice. You know what? No, I'm gonna put it in A tier. It's not perfect. It has its flaws, but it's objectively a really good design. And with the knowledge that this thing was made in back in the 1950s, it makes it even more impressive because when you look at American monster movies from the 50s that used suits and stuff like that, they look significantly worse than this thing. In general, the 54 design looks like something really ahead of its time, like something from the 80s or 90s or something. It's a really good design. I really like it. I think the only things that hold it back are the googly eyes and the ears, but overall I think it's a great design. But unfortunately, the design that came immediately after it, Godzilla 1955, is significantly inferior to the original one. It's just a massive downgrade, and I don't think saying this is controversial. I appreciate that they try to make it slimmer, but the face just looks terrible. The face is just gross. The eyes are way too human-like, and the teeth are way too jagged. It just looks uncanny. It looks wrong. It gives me uncanny valley vibes, and I don't hate it because it grew on me over time, kind of, but it's far from my favorite designs. The 62 Godzilla design, though, is my all-time favorite Showa era design. It's definitely in my top 10 favorite designs. It looks great. I love the face of this thing. I even have a figure of it. Um, it looks dinosaurian. This is one of the most reptilian-looking Godzillas out there, and I really appreciate it when Godzilla look reptilian. And I just love the face. It looks like an actual T-Rex. It it's just a great design. The only nitpick I have with it is that in the movie this Godzilla is portrayed as a bad guy, and this Godzilla looks quite heroic. He doesn't feel like a bad guy when you look at his design. But granted, in this film, even as a villain, his role is quite comedic. He's not taken as seriously as the 54 Godzilla, which works at its advantage. We have 64 Goji, and I really appreciate this design. Some people dislike it, but personally I think it looks good. I really like the face, I really like the angry eyebrows, be- and because Godzilla is a dinosaur, it actually makes sense for him to have these eyebrow-like structures, because when you look at dinosaurs like T-Rex, Allosaurus, Carnotaurus, etc., some of them have those crest-like structures above their eyes, kind of like eyebrows. So um, it's really cool to see this on this design. I'm 90% sure this was completely unintentional, but you know, it's a nice unintentional callback, I guess you can say. We have Godzilla 1965 from um, Invasion of the Astro Monsters and Ebera Horror of the Deep. I think this design is actually pretty nice. Um, it's very similar to the 1964 design, but it has a wider mouth. I don't like it as much as the 64 design, but I still think it's good. Godzilla 1967. I don't think it would be controversial to say that this design is horrible. I mean, just look at it. I have nothing more to say about this design. It's just terrible, and The entire Godzilla community pretends that it doesn't exist, and I completely understand that. We have Godzilla 1968. I think this design is wonderful, and it's my third favorite Showa era design. I think it's really good. His face kind of reminds me of Littlefoot from The Land Before Time. Um, he looks kind of cute and kind of cartoonish, but he's not too cute looking. He still looks a little intimidating, and I think it's a really great design. We have 1973 slash 4 slash 5 Godzilla. I think this is probably the most overrated Showa era design. Don't get me wrong, I don't think it's a bad design. When I was younger, I hated this design. I thought it was terrible, but over time it grew on me. It has those really it has those adorable anime eyes. It it looks very cutesy, but in the following movies they kind of gave him an angrier expression to make him more menacing, and I actually think it works well in his favor. We have Godzilla from the Hanna-Barbera series, and I don't think it's a bad design because many people say that it looks like shit, and I disagree. I think it's a good design. Okay, not good, but it's decent. It's generic, it's just an upright standing dinosaur, and it feels more like a parody of Godzilla than an authentic Godzilla design. Well, it's an American design, so you can't really call it authentic, but I think it's fine. C tier. I'm gonna put it above the 55 design. Godzilla 1984. I may or may not get hate for this, but I think it's not the best design out there. It looks okay from the side. It almost looks kind of cool from the side, but from the front, it just looks terrible. I get that Toho were trying to make something that had a similar vibe to the show designs, but looked more menacing, kind of like a transition from the Showa era designs to the Heisei era designs, but I just think it looks kind of awkward. I think that Gamera from Gamera Guardian of the Universe does a better job at looking like the show design, but also being slightly more menacing. Godzilla 1984 is just kind of awkward in my opinion. Heisei Godzilla have all the Heisei designs from Biolante to Destroya. To me, with the exception of Burning Godzilla, they look identical. Like, I see no difference between them whatsoever. Regardless, they look amazing. This version of Godzilla is intimidating. He kind of looks like a bear. He kind of looks like a T-Rex bear hybrid. He's slightly more chubby, he's significantly more muscular, he's taller, he feels stronger. He looks significantly more intimidating. And even as a character, he's not um like just a superhero like the later Showa incarnations or the Hanna-Barbera version. He's actually a complex three-dimensional character, which I really appreciate. I really appreciate Heisei Godzilla. He's my third favorite Godzilla design and used to be my personal favorite for a short period of time. He's not my all-time favorite now, but I still I still think it's a great design. Now we have 98, and I think that Godzilla 98 is an amazing design and doesn't deserve any of the hate it gets. I think it's slick and agile, it looks fresh. Don't get me wrong, Godzilla 1998 is not a good movie at all. I used to love it when I was younger, but over time I've come to absolutely hate it. The first act of it is pretty good, but over time it tries to be a satirical comedy on American society. And this could be fun, but it just feels out of place in a Godzilla movie. In general, the whole movie feels disrespectful to the source material. Anyways, we're here to talk about the designs of Godzilla, the various designs of him, and not to critique the movies. Regardless, this design is great. I love the way it looks, and it's just a really nice, really fresh design. Anyways, Godzilla 2000. It's probably gonna be the highest 8 year. This Godzilla's design in general is supposed to be it's very inspired by early American depictions of Godzilla, with him being green and uh, having a fiery atomic breath. In general, Godzilla 2000 looks great. He's jagged, he feels crocodilian, he feels like an actual reptile because the Showa Godzilla designs, for the most part, felt way too mammalian and barely look anything like a reptile. But Godzilla 2000 looks very reptilian, very jagged and spiky, and it's a great design overall, and I really appreciate it. Now, Godzilla GMK used to be my favorite design of Godzilla. Not anymore, but I still think it's great. It's probably my fourth favorite design. I think it looks extremely intimidating. He's bulky, he's muscular. Uh it it looks like an evil version of Heisei Godzilla, and frankly, this is kind of what he is. I love the white pupilless eyes. In general, he has more of a dinosaurian looking head. He feels more reptilian, but he still has somewhat mammalian feature because he's very inspired from the Heisei design. In general, I love GMK Goji, and he's one of my personal favorites. We have Kira Goji, and he's my personal favorite Godzilla. He's just the best in my opinion. He looks like a wolf, and this is a great decision to make Godzilla more wolf-like for two reasons. Because A, wolves are my favorite animals, and second, because by mixing canine and theropod features with one another, you end up with a creature that looks beautiful and majestic, but also extremely intimidating. In general, Kirugoji is the perfect Godzilla design in my opinion. He's muscular. He his weight is really balanced. He's not like overweight, but he's also not like anorexic. He's spiky, but not too edgy. Um, he looks very noble. I wish this Godzilla was a good guy though, because in his film appearances, he's basically the villain. And when you look at this design, he doesn't look villainous. He looks very heroic, and I wish he was used as a good guy. Anyways, Final Wars Godzilla is my second favorite design. Again, just like Heisei Goji and JK Goji, he used to be my favorite for a very long time, for over 2 years, but I don't think he's as good as Kira Goji. I think he's a little bit of a downgrade, but I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on him because it's a great design. He feels kind of like a mix of a dinosaur and a fox. He feels less wolf-like and more fox-like, which is again amazing because foxes are my second favorite animals beside wolves. And it feels very agile, very slick. He's probably the second skinniest Godzilla besides 98, but he's still quite muscular, spiky, and he looks really cool. In general, I love Godzilla Final Wars, both Godzilla himself from that movie and the movie itself is just fantastic. And moving on to Godzilla from Always Sunny on Third Street. I actually think it's a good design. I'm gonna put it in B tier. I like the white eyes, kind of like GMK Goji. And I hope we get more pupilless Godzillas in the future because they look really intimidating. Always Sunset on Third Street Godzilla is basically a prototype of -1 Goji, and I don't think it looks as good as -1. I still like it. Shin Godzilla is, oh my god, this thing is fantastic. I think it looks awesome. It looks something out of a Junji Ito manga. It's canonically constantly in pain. Its jaw can split up. It can breathe fire. It can shoot his atomic breath from his mouth and tail and dorsal plates. He has so many abilities. I just love this thing. It's just extremely disturbing and unpredictable. In general, Shin Godzilla, both the character and the movie, has this Lovecraftian vibe, and I just love the works of H.P. Lovecraft. Now we have Godzilla Earth. Yeah, I hate this thing, I'm sorry. Some people like it, but personally I think it looks like shit. It's just it's just not a good design. It's just bad. It's way, way, way too overweight. I like bulky Godzilla designs like, Heisei and JMK, but this is just unproportionally overweight. It just doesn't make him look intimidating. I also don't like the beard spikes. I know it's supposed to make him look old, but I don't want Godzilla to have a beard. In general, this Godzilla doesn't feel like a intimidating, badass warrior. He just feels like an old, overweight man. Also, for some reason, Godzilla isn't even like a reptile. He's just a plant for some reason that just happened to evolve to look like a dinosaur. I don't know. I just don't like Godzilla Earth. Okay, now it's time for the biggest controversy of this video. You would probably want me dead, but I don't like Monster vs. Godzilla. I'm sorry. I don't hate it. It's not a terrible design. It's gonna be probably the highest C tier, but I think it's just mid. Especially the design from Godzilla vs. Kong and Godzilla King of the Monsters. His head is just pathetically small. He has a pathetically small head. I just don't like how tiny it is. Also, his face is way too square. He looks like a Minecraft mod, like a Minecraft mob. Also, his face is just really short. I prefer Godzillas with longer snouts. The snout on this thing is pathetically short. It's just way too fat, way too boxy. I don't think it's I don't think it is as overweight and bad looking as Godzilla Earth, but it's still bad. I think the 2014 design is actually significantly better than the uh, 2019 and 2021 designs because uh, he has a larger head and he's not a pinhead. I don't know why in the second and third MonsterVerse Godzilla movie they shrunk his head and made it so small. I don't know why. Next we have Godzilla Ultima. This may or may not be a hot take, but I think this design is amazing. People are just shitting on it for no reason. I love how it looks. It has a skin that looks like samurai armor. I love the red veins on the dorsal plates. I love how edgy and spiky it looks. It both looks like something from Japanese folklore, like yokai or oni, but also it has this 2000s edge that I really appreciate. Gemstone Godzilla, I used to love him, but over time my love for him kinda died down. I think It's the face. It's way too human-like. I like the proportions. I like that he's skinnier, but I'm just not the biggest fan of this design. It's okay. He looks okay from the side, but he doesn't look good from the front. I'm sorry. We have Godzilla minus one. Yeah, I think he's kind of overrated. He's good. I love his skin texture. I love how spiky he is. But again, he's way too bulky and his head is way too small, but I still like him. I think it's a good design. And we have Evolved Godzilla. Evolved Godzilla is a good design. I appreciate it. It's probably my favorite Monsters Godzilla design. Again, another hot take. I know that some of you diehard Monsterverse fans would probably want me dead, but yeah, Evolved Godzilla is my favorite Monsterverse design because it fixes some of the issues I have with the previous designs of MV Godzilla. He's no longer overweight, his head is bigger, he's spikier and more intimidating. I still would have preferred if they kept his blue atomic breath. I don't hate the pink coloration, it's fine. But yeah, I like Evolved Godzilla. Anyways, we have Snow Goji, and man, he's awesome. He's like a better version of the Gemstone Godzilla design. Before I thought he was just Gemstone Godzilla with snow on him, and other than the whole snow thing, they were identical, but it's not true. They actually have a lot of differences. Yeah, I like Snow Godzilla. He's really cool, and I like how we have a contrast between Snow Godzilla and Burning Godzilla. And yet, this is my tier list of Godzilla designs. Again, make sure to comment your opinion in the comment section. Thanks for watching and have a nice day. Bye.